everyone, this is an exclusive interview on RDW. I'm Mike Check 95, and we actually do have some time here with the ref, which we've heard very little about this individual here since he came into the league. The first question is like, what got you into wrestling and all that?
Well, heard about the league, and so I came to a couple events, and then I decided to be a referee for a little bit, and then...
So you were an official more over a wrestler first, pretty much?
Yeah, I was an official, kind of. I only repped a couple of matches, but, you know, I kind of just wanted to get into it and start wrestling, see how it goes.
Yeah, like you were, I guess you can say, hired as like a referee and official or whatever, but it seemed like you knew what you were doing when you started wrestling.
Yeah,
like, did you receive some training prior to this, or like just trained with some of the guys, like on practices and off the screen?
Not really. I just kind of watched closely and took notes. And I mean, my notes haven't done me very well so far, but...
Speaking of, like, you saying your notes are not really helping you out, is your losing streak messing up your mojo or messing up your...
I mean, I think any losing streak will fuck with someone's head a little bit.
You can ask Venom or Jason Anderson. I mean, he's losing
Jason
streak.
was talking about retiring for a while if he didn't win, but here he is winning again. But, you know, people lose, and... my win's coming someday.
Like, I mean, sometimes that just got to get to people because, I mean, right now you're at like 7 losses in a row.
Yeah, I mean,
your matches are like really, really good. I mean,
the only 2 matches that I haven't had good on was the one against Pyro, which that was whatever happened there. I'm not gonna make excuses or whatever.
Shortest match like on record.
Yeah, and then. The one against Krieger, that was...
I mean, that one wasn't...
He had the height advantage on me on that.
That wasn't too bad. I mean...
It wasn't too bad. It was it was longer, but...
Pretty much both those matches were against 2 individuals who haven't been in the game in a while, and then they came back, and this was their big return match, so... They
put it all out on the floor, and that's what they did. They took it, and... props to them for that.
What about your match with Venom or Jason? I'm just gonna call him Jason because he's known as Jason.
He's introduced himself as Venom back, but
everyone knows he's Jason.
He's Jason.
What happened there? Like that was like a really highly built up match.
Yeah,
you two had quite an interesting.
We've had some beef. Still do, but I mean, we both got our. At some points, I thought, hey, I'm going to take this. And then he got me in that figure 4 lock or whatever it was. And he got one of my ankles, which I have bad ankles. And just got me in a good lock and started to hurt. And I was like, you know what?
Speaking of that match, it was originally just going to be just a normal, like, revenge match for Jason. But last minute... Since PX90 had dropped both the Intercontinental and the World title, it got turned into a contendership match to fight against Latino Magic, who was supposed to fight PX90 for the Intercontinental belt.
Yeah.
So he needed a new contender. And like the very last minute, it was made as an impromptu contendership match.
Yeah, which... maybe. I would have prepared a little bit more. Put more of my self into it, but then I don't know.
Part of that was at the fault of PX90 for winning both belts and then getting hurt during that last match, which, I mean, injuries come and go. I mean,
injuries come and go, and they do.
It happens. Like, PX90 is also known for winning the belt and then dropping it, which is why he's still undefeated. But, I mean, I do understand his schedule is very wonky at times. This time, it was an actual injury that happened during his match with Harvey Beardman.
Yes.
Did or do you and Cosmos have issues? Because both you and him, which we'll try not to get too far into it, because there was actually some history with us and Cosmos in backstage, but we worked it out.
We can get into it a little bit.
Let's start with, because we're going to go a little bit back farther before your debut. It was Bearded Man's rematch clause after Cosmos won the belt from him.
Yeah.
At the end of the match, Bearded Man won, but Cosmos went on the attack, and both you and another official came running in and break the fight up, and you, while the other official got Taylor away, you kind of just kept Cosmos from advancing forward. And then it happened again when Jason was...
The match between Jason and Cosmos.
It wasn't really a match. It was more like a call out, and then Jason...
Cosmos came out and was talking some mad shit, and Jason said, "What the hell you want?" And they started going at it, and that wasn't happening. We don't play that shit.
And this is like you ripped Jason off of...
I ripped Jason off, and I went ham on that fool, but I still lost.
But I mean, it seemed like you were trying to like just keep the fight from happening, but then Cosmos just randomly attacked you because this was the second time that you've interfered in one of his like.
Yeah, I mean,
battles.
I pulled Jason off, got Jason out of there, and then Cosmos came at me. We got locked up, and it went on from there.
And it just got turned into a match. Like, and then it kind of goes on later on, like with the rematch you two had and everything, and you being honestly the first guy in the league to have your head busted open. I mean, there's been busted lips and all that, and bleeding gums and everything, but you're the first one that actually had your head busted open, which wasn't like bad as I'm making it sound like.
Yeah, it was just on the cheekbone, like, you know, I was pushing his leg back, and he was, you know, pushing. We were both pushing against each other, and then, you know, it slipped, and all that force came flying, which... It's an accident. I didn't take it too... At the time, I took it more personal because, hey, my face is bleeding. That would piss anyone
Spur
off.
of the moment and the action.
It gets your adrenaline pumping. Plus, you know, when you're out there wrestling, your adrenaline's already high. You know, you get into character and go at each other. Which, looking back on the match, it wasn't as much blood as I thought.
Yeah.
But, you know...
This kind of gets me to the final question on it. You and Cosmos, are you two okay now since he's left the league?
We're neutral.
Neutral?
Neutral.
Kind of just at a standstill, like, okay.
At a standstill. Not like I'm gonna...
You wish you would have beaten him, but...
I wish I would have beaten him.
You're not as mad because...
You know, I came in here with little to no experience, so it's...
Some of the guys that come in have no experience, I mean...
Yeah, some of them come in with no experience and they take right to it. Some others, it takes time. As me, for example.
Mm-hmm. Another question. Since you saved Jason after the... Well, not really saved him, but you kind of pulled him off the attack and then Cosmos attacked you. 2 months later, you had attacked Jason. Now, this is one thing that Jason kind of wonders because 2 months before the attack, you made it seem like, oh, you were kind of helping him out, trying to get him away from all that stuff. But then 2 months later, you just randomly attack him. Now,
well,
is it because of the regulator, which we're going to get more into detail on that, which...
random is a good word to choose there, my friend.
It's just like, 1 minute you're... seem like you're on the same page as him, and the next minute you're just like, oh, he's just a piece of trash.
The regulator has shown me the light, or more rather the darkness, to the world.
Okay. But why did you two decide to single Jason out?
Because Jason didn't want to be a part of what we're creating.
Well, it wasn't really like that. He was fighting his own internal battle and everything, and just his...
I get. I mean, you gotta fight your own demons, but don't mean you can't fight them with me and the regulator.
Now, this alliance with the regulator, did it like stir up? When did it actually stir up? Was it when Jason lost the Intercontinental belt, or was it somewhere behind the scenes when Jason had the Intercontinental? Because because Regulator helped Jason win the Intercontinental belt, which made everyone like, oh, Jason, he didn't win the belt, he didn't deserve it, which led to him losing it and questioning why he was still in the league, because he really felt like he didn't earn the belt. Which this is where I'm asking, where you, like you just kind of jumped in the scene and just, you know, ejected him from the Plague. Which now we're here now.
We're here now
with the Plague versus the Kingdom stuff, and now we're just trying to figure out where this alliance really start.
Somewhere behind the scenes, me and the regulator had talked a couple times and talked how he was trying to make Jason his protege, and Jason kind of didn't want to take to it.
I mean, he wasn't doing bad. It's just
He wasn't doing bad, but he got too big for his britches, and now he's trying to be Venom again.
Did the fact that after his match with Cosmos, when Cosmos wrestled with that injury, did
With
the
the
fact
hand injury?
did the fact that the cameras had accidentally showed him showing remorse after the match, was that part of it? Because there was this I remember watching that at the very end of the match, Jason kind of broke character and went to go check up on Cosmos.
Yeah, I mean,
you can tell. Also, I've noticed you can tell he was kind of holding back because he didn't want to hurt him as much.
well, yeah, I mean, if there's remorse, and then, there's holding back and whatnot. If I was in the situation where Jason was wrestling against, which Cosmos, I was in kind of that position because he was in the survival match with us.
Yeah.
But, which that happened during the survival match, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, that because the Intercontinental match was before the survival match.
Yeah.
And then we were trying to get him to not wrestle that night, and he was like, "No, I'm doing it." I'm like, we're just like, all right, we shouldn't have let him, but
I mean, me and myself, I avoided that arm too, but when it's all said and done and he's on the ground, he put himself in that situation. I'm not gonna show remorse and make sure he's all right. He put himself in that own. The plague, when you're part of the plague, it's kind of, I don't know how to explain it, but I don't know.
yeah, I can understand that.
But, like, Jason wasn't right for the plague either. He was always a good guy.
Sorry.
Go ahead.
Like, see, there's a lot of factors that played into this, because there was the fact that he was fighting his own demons because he just got out of his own losing streak, but he was still battling the fact that he didn't really earn the belt or anything. There was the whole remorse thing at the end of the match with him and Cosmos, and then there was also that I guess you could say return, but the debut of his longtime friend Brewmaster, who he had wrestled before years ago, and then just suddenly at the end of that match, he's getting helped up by his old friend, and you can tell the look on his face. He just seems confused.
That's the thing about Brewmaster.
There's a lot of things that played into
Brewmaster and Jason, outside of RDW, have a good history together. So, Brewmaster will always see him as a friend.
Mm-hmm.
That's why he helped him. Other than anything else. And he said they have their own thing going along behind the scenes, just like me and the Regulator have our plague thing going on behind the scenes.
A lot of it just went down literally those 2 months right there. And
yeah, a lot has gone down.
If Jason was still in the plague, was there ever going to be a chance where you joined the plague with Regulator and Jason and make it a trio? Was there ever chances of that?
Me and the Regulator have not ever talked about that. Who knows? Maybe if Jason was still in the plague with the Regulator, they would have went after me, and I wouldn't say I'd be with the Kingdom, because I probably would have set out on my own vendetta and created something much better than the plague. But I am helping create the plague, what it's going to become. Now
it's coming to a head with you and Regulator facing Jason and whoever he chooses. It's either going to be Brewmaster or Broodman or whatnot. Anything. It's probably, I don't know. Right now his partner is kind of just up in the air. What do you think for it being the be-all, end-all?
Be-all, end-all.
And what do you think's going to happen after it's all said and done?
What is going to happen? After it's all said and done.
What's left to prove?
Nothing. Whoever wins, wins. That's... I'm hoping Plague will come out on top.
There's no titles. There's nothing really on the line. It's just pretty much pride.
Pretty much pride, yeah. I mean, we may all just go separate ways. After that, who knows?
Speaking of like people going their separate ways, this is going off topic from the plague. Your thoughts on the gauntlet match that Birmingham had put out just recently, and
I'm ready. I love me a good team match. As you can see from, I'll go into the talks a little bit. So, my one-on-one matches I really don't do very well, you know, and maybe it's part of, I don't know. When you're in a, like, say the survival match, all those people coming in one at a time, you know, there's all that energy around you. You're kind of like, get your adrenaline pumping even more than it already is when you're out there. And I made it to second to last. Got down to me and Fatty Yogurt, which I surprised myself. That was third or fourth match. I was like, how the hell am I here? I figured I would have got out quick. Now, I will say there was some cheapness in there, teaming up on a couple of people. Cosmos. Everyone agreed on taking out Brewmaster, though. But I'm ready for it. I'm just coming off a leg injury. Unrelated to RDW.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one.
Do you think he'll choose you as one of the guys to face?
I hope so.
I mean, I know there's some rumors going on. He's talked about picking Jason, but who knows what's going on with that.
If I'm not picked, I'll run out there and start something.
See, that's the interesting thing.
That's part of the ref right there, though.
Another thing I want to get your thoughts on. The thoughts on, I guess, was going to be the 2 titles, but now all 3 titles are vacant.
Yeah, all our belts are vacant at the moment.
Pretty much both titles, all 3 titles were dropped by Fatty Ogre and PX90. Both were kind of injury related. But the PX90 one was a little bit more controversial, kind of, because he won both belts and then dropped them. Pretty much after the announcement was made that all the belts were dropped and all vacant, I mean, two of the belts are already being decided for, but like, what are your thoughts on just all of a sudden, one day we have champions, like one guy has 2 belts, and then the next day, they're all vacant.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of watched it all unfold because we have a group chat, and we had a message saying, hey, we're going to do something soon, a match, or get together for a couple matches, trying to get some stuff done so we have content. And PX goes, I'm not really going to be able to make it, maybe. Which, no hard feelings towards PX, whatever.
PX90.
Yeah, PX90. You know, he has his own thing. He doesn't live in the same town as most of us. He's got schooling and whatnot, so it makes it hard to get here. So it was crazy. I kind of got in my head a little bit, thinking maybe I could get at one of them. Which, I mean, that survival belt is still up for grabs. We could throw down one of those someday.
Because, I mean, those matches are kind of just thrown together like
spur of the moment, really.
I mean, just like PX90, 8-0. He's beaten Beardman twice. Once for the world title, and then once for the Intercontinental for the winner take all, and then just has to drop it because of an injury. No one's beaten him yet, but he has beaten him. Pretty much injuries in school has defeated him three or four times, but not actual people itself.
He's kind of our Floyd Mayweather of the group.
One more question. What should we expect from the ref in the future, in the coming months?
Creepiness.
Creepiness?
Weirdness. It's about to get a whole lot weirder than it has been.
Not like Cosmos weird, is it?
No, not well.
Because that was just...
Not as weird and flamboyant as Cosmos. More dark and mysterious.
Okay, I mean, it's already dark enough as it is with this whole plague thing, but alright, thanks for the heads up!
The plague is only the beginning of what's to come for the ref. And the more loses, the darker it gets.
Well, I mean, that's all the questions I have. Thank you for your time.
You're welcome.
We'll catch you next time. Hopefully we'll have a matchup with
I'm the ref. Later.